Hey guys, this is the little bench where I've been doing most of my work, and as you can see I've quite outgrown it. There is just stuff everywhere and I need more space both to get organized and to work. So I'm going to be using this corner of my garage to construct a workbench. I'm looking at going about 6 feet long, about 32 inches out from the wall, and about 32 to 33 inches high off the ground. That's the perfect height to put a chair and plenty of space to spread out and get things done. So first I gotta get rid of this guy. There's more screws in there than I remember using. And additionally, this garage is not insulated, so I also have some 2-inch thick foam I'm going to be putting on the garage door, and then I have several rolls of insulation I'm going to be rolling out in the ceiling. The entire house is insulated in the attic with standard fiberglass insulation. For some reason they skipped the garage. I guess that was just a save on cost. So we're going to get that taken care of as well. Alright, so we'll need 2 supports that are 6 feet long. Get that a little bit more accurate. I missed the line there. All right. All right, so I need to come 32 inches off the wall. And the thickness of these two 2x4s is 3 inches. So that means my mid supports need to be 29 inches long, which will form 32 inches once assembled. I'm going to put my mid supports every 16 inches. So when you include both of the ends, that means I will be needing 5 pieces that are 29 inches long. And as you can see by the way the lights dim when I turn the saw on, I also need to upgrade the power in this garage as well. There's a single 15 amp circuit with about 100 feet of 14 gauge wire that serves the garage and the hallway behind me. So I'm going to get 3 more of these cut and I'll be right back. So I'm going to go across the long support here and place a mark every 16 inches where the mid spacers will go. So we got 16, 32, 48, 64, and then I'm going to transcribe those onto the second piece as well. And this is where you realize that you don't do math very well and you actually need 6 29-inch pieces, not 5, so I'm going to go cut a 6th one and then we'll get this assembled. Alright, so I'm placing 1 mid support at each of the 16-inch lines I measured, and then obviously 1 at each end. And I'm putting the 2x4 at the center of where the mark was. Now you'll notice I have this ratchet strap going through the center. And the reason for that is I find when you're building smaller frames like this, it's easiest to lay it out first. Once all the marks are lined up, then strap it down to prevent it from moving while you pre-drill your holes and put your screws in. And I'm going to go through and drill 2 pallet holes on each 2x4. Pallet holes are just to prevent the 2x4s from cracking when you put the screws in. It'd be a lot easier to do this with a nail gun. Unfortunately, I don't have a nail gun. So we'll get started. So for the exterior leg, I'm going to use this piece of 2x6. This was reclaimed from a deck railing a couple years ago. I always try to reuse when I can versus buying new. So I decided on 33 inches high. the screws in place on the frame, we can remove the strap we used to hold it temporarily. And I'm just going to tack this leg on temporarily because we'll use that for our leveling adjustment later. Okay. You see I just affix it with one screw there at the top. Alright, so this is going to be the pain in the butt part, is getting this screwed up against the wall over there. I guess an easier way to do it would be to put temporary legs on and then take them off later. But I'm just going to try to hold it up and get one screw in. Lift it to place. And I'm going to make a mark on the 2x4 where one of the wall studs is. Just like that. Alright, so in that location I'm just going to drill a pilot hole and put one screw in almost the whole way through, but not quite. So I'm just going to lift this up into place and use the level to get it as level as I can and then tack in that screw. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of interesting comments on what a better way to do that was. I look forward to reading them, but again, it's up. So I'm going to go take a quick break here and recharge the drill because the battery is about done, and then we'll put in the rest of these screws. Alright, so I want to make sure this is level before I begin tacking more screws in. So I'm just going to place the level here, and it looks like the left side can come up just a little bit more. And that looks near perfect right there. Alright, now I'm going to level off the left side and tack that one in. And unfortunately, because of my measurements here, this long piece is lining up with where the wall stud is. I guess I'll put one in over here in the middle to level it. And then I may end up putting a leg over here depending on whether or not I can get a screw in at an angle. But I'll figure that part out later. And the front does need to come up a little bit, and that's about perfectly level right there. So I'll go ahead and drive that screw in. Before putting the rest of the screws in, I'm just going to check levelness in a few other locations. That looks good. That looks good. Looks like the front. Yeah, this front does need to come up a little bit longer. I will use this leg to level out this corner, but before I do that, I want to get the wall secured in the back. Yeah, this is where Torx or hex screws would definitely be a lot better than standard Phillips. The Phillips bit just doesn't grab worth crap when you're putting in long screws like that. Alright, so now I want to clamp the corner over here. That's like perfect right there. So put the clamp back on. Alright. So now it's time to get the tabletop done. For the top of the bench, I'll be using this 5/8 inch I don't know if it's particle board. It's not plywood. It's more of like particle. It's more of like wood shavings glued together. So I'll just call it particle board. So the bench is 6 feet long. And it's 32 inches wide. So 32 is right here. Okay, and there's our line. that is a nice looking workbench. Alright, so to screw the bench top down, it's going to make marks in the back where all of the mid braces are. And then I can use the 4-foot square to draw lines to the front. That way when I screw the top down, I'm not missing any of the mid braces. Alright, so there you have it. I do need to charge that drill up before I can put the rest of the screws in again. But you can see it's very, very nice bench, 6 feet long by 32 inches deep, and 33 inches approximately height off the ground. Fastened in, I think it was 4 locations to the rear wall, 1 location to the left wall, and I did end up putting a 2x4 leg on the side, just because I couldn't get a screw in at the right angle to get into this stud over here. I'm going to put the shelving unit from my sunroom over here on the right. I'll probably move some of those tools over to the other side of the pegboard since there's plenty of pegboard space. And then on the left wall here, I may put some shelving just to store other tools, you know, the soldering iron, the spot welder, things like that. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Any questions or comments, leave them below. I always do appreciate the feedback, especially constructive criticism. It does help me better my projects going forward. Thanks for watching.